peacock, the majestic bird with magnificent colors and amazing huge tail, are among the most fascinating and beautiful creatures on Earth. Peacock is actually the male bird. The collective term for both male and female birds of this genera is peafowl. The term peafowl is common for three main species: the blue, or Indian peafowl, the green peafowl, and the Congo peafowl. Males are called peacocks, females are peahens, and babies are called peacocks. A group of any peafowl is called harem. A group of peahens, without peacock, is called bevy, muster, or a party. The male peacocks don't develop their feathers until they turn 3 years old. It is due to this reason it becomes hard to tell the gender of peacocks. When the males turn 6 months old, their color starts changing. Fully grown peacocks are twice the size of peahens. Peacocks generally shed their feathers after mating season every year. Fortunately for them, they don't get killed for their beautiful feathers. The tail feathers of peacocks may reach up to a length of 6 feet for the green peacocks, and it actually makes up 60% of their body length. They still can fly, but only for short distances. Peacocks weigh a mere 103 grams at birth. In a day, they can walk, eat and drink without assistance, and can start flying in just 3 days. An all-white peafowl is not natural. It is because of leucism, a genetic mutation that causes loss or decrease of many pigments including melatonin. This results in the feathers being white. However, the eyes don't lose any pigmentation. The meat of the peacock was a delicacy in medieval times. After roasting, their feathers were put back in the same form to give the guests an appearance of a live bird. However, lucky for the peacocks, they didn't taste good. Their meat was discouraged by physicians as well, for their not easily digestible quality. The tail of the peacock is called the train. The feathers also have some microscopic structures which look like crystals, which reflect light. As a characteristic feature, there is a bare patch of skin without any feathers around the eyes of any peafowl, and all peafowl species have a crest atop their head, which resemble floating crowns. Peacocks can make 11 different types of sounds. They can even make low-pitch sound with the help of their tail, that humans can't hear. When a peacock rattles his tail, the tail is shaken at a rate of 26 times per second. This creates a pressure wave that catches the attention of a peahen. A peahen has a sensor in her crest that can feel the vibrations of a potential mate who may be a little far. This sensor tunes to the vibrations of the peacock's tails. These birds are pretty intelligent. They lay unfertilized eggs as decoys in places far away from their nest in order to confuse predators that might hunt them. The most preferred areas of habitat for peacocks are rainforests, bushlands, forests, and warm places. The blue or Indian peacocks can survive cold winters pretty comfortably, but the green peacocks can't tolerate winter. Peafowls reach sexual maturity at the age of 3 years. Just like many birds, peacocks are polygamous. They mate with multiple partners. The peacocks use their feathers to attract mates. The better the quality of feathers, the higher is the chance of being selected by peahen. The peahens lay around 6 eggs at a time. The eggs hatch in about 28 days. Peahens are excellent mothers. The peafowls are social animals. They like to bond with humans as well. Just like our pets, they can be attached to a person and be altruistic towards them. They don't like being alone, and they usually travel in a group of 8 or 10. They make their nests on the ground, but they usually prefer to perch on treetops. Peafowls tend to get aggressive when any stranger enters their territory. They don't even let snakes enter their territory. One of the many reasons people like to keep them near is for their great ability to catch snakes. The birds feed on even the poisonous kinds of the said reptiles. They have 4 toes on each foot. 3 of the toes point forward and the 4th one point backward. It helps the peacock to hold the branches. They don't have webbed feet, and hence they can't swim. Peacocks can run at a speed of 16 kilometers per hour. They display their feathers prominently in spring or their breeding season. Thanks to their feathers, which give a wingspan of 1.5 meters. They are considered one of the largest flying birds in the entire world. Indian peacock is seen in India, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. They can grow up to 120 centimeters in length, and weigh up to 6 kilograms. The green peacock resides in Java, Myanmar, and Burma. They grow up to 300 centimeters with 5 kilograms. The Congo peacock, the lesser-known kind, resides in African rainforests. They can grow up to 70 centimeters in length including the tail. Congo peafowl is Africa's only large terrestrial bird. The Congo peacock, which inhabits the forested interior of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, was discovered in 1936, after a search that began in 1913, with the finding of a single feather. The Indian peacock is the only species to display its plumage in a grandeur fashion. A peacock can have a maximum of 200 feathers on its tail at any given point in time. A peacock is an omnivorous bird. It eats plants, insects, fruits, reptiles, amphibians, etc. Peacocks have been kept in captivity since 2,000 years ago. They have a lifespan of up to 20 years in the wild and 50 years in captivity. Peacocks love to play. When they play, they run and follow only one direction, mainly clockwise. Once they get tired, they just suddenly stop and start walking at a normal pace. Peacocks hold some significance in almost every culture like Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity. Hindus regard the peafowl as sacred because they perceive the spots on the birds' tails as the eyes of the gods. The Bible praised the peacocks, stating they are the most prized item aboard the ships of King Solomon that came from Asia. According to Chinese traditional beliefs, the feathers are considered to protect people from threats and disasters. The white peacock is considered a bearer of eternal tranquility and happiness. Greeks believed that the flesh or meat of peafowls doesn't decay even after their death. Hence, they were considered a symbol of immortality. For Jews, the golden peacock is a sign of creativity and joy. In ancient Persia, peacocks were associated with the tree of life. Peacock stands as the national bird of India since 1963. The main predators of peacocks are tigers, mongoose, leopards, dogs, and house cats. The Indian peafowl is listed as of least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. However, the green peacock is classified as endangered, and Congo peafowl is classified as vulnerable species. We hope you liked this video. Do let us know what you liked or disliked in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to encourage us to do more. Stay tuned for more videos from Lou. Thanks for watching.